So we'll start to bring our minds inward, settling our energy a bit, checking our posture, making sure that we're um, in a good, conducive posture so that our body's not distracting us too much. We can just take a moment to sit with the weight of the body, kind of bringing our mind inward a bit more, just feeling there's this substantial weight, all these components sitting here on this chair, on this cushion, completely grounded. And start to become aware of your breath. Because without any effort or even trying, the breath is there. And the breath is moving. Inhale, transition, exhale, and then transition back to inhaling. So just take a few minutes to observe the breath, the inhale, the exhale. You can focus at the abdomen, the nostrils, the full expansion and contraction of the torso, whatever you feel is good for you today. And just observe and bring the mind slowly inward. So do that for a few minutes. Now with this calm, focused mind, we bring up our motivation. So why am I meditating? And it's a personal question. We're searching for peace. We're curious about the mind. We're interested in mind training. And in Mahayana Buddhism, we have the motivation that we put others first. So it's not all about us. Trying to be less selfish and more concerned with other people around us. Thinking that while I have problems and challenges and difficulties, some people have it much worse than me. And trying to open that compassionate heart to wish that those friends of mine and family and people that I don't even know that are suffering much greater than I am, just wishing them to be happy, wishing them to be free of the suffering. And it's a long journey. So we're trying to iron out the wrinkles of selfishness. And we do that through contemplation, through meditation, not just spacing out, but really trying to change the mind, make it shift. So in doing that last week, we concluded the last meditation on the six perfections. So we just want to recall those quickly before we move on. So the six perfections were generosity, so our willingness to give and to give openly, not expecting anything in return. And then we had morality, so living in an ethical life, being moralistic. And then we had patience, being patient with people, but also our practice and our progress. And that's not being indifferent and not caring, but actually, in a caring way, being patient. And then we had this energy or this joyous effort. So this power and joy to um, develop our minds. So not doing it in a way that's has a negative mind, but you're actually hungry and thirsty to move on. And then we have concentration. So the ability to concentrate the mind, to concentrate on our actions, our activities. Because without the concentration, then the mind's just scattering and you can't direct this joyous effort, can't direct the energy, can't uh, put it in the right space. And then the last of the six perfections is the wisdom, or the ultimate truth. And the union of the ultimate truth with the conventional truth. So the ultimate understanding of reality. So it's the most pure form of wisdom. It understands perfectly and correctly how to accomplish without any error. So those are the six perfections, and in themselves are very difficult to perform all the time, to live out. And today we are looking at the four means of attraction, and sometimes the six perfections and the four means of attraction, sometimes they're called the 10 perfections. So it's kind of like these four additional elements that are added to the six that we just covered. And the four um, are how do you say? Well, the six, their skill in means, vow, power, wisdom, and knowledge. And here with the four means of attraction, um, they're outwardly focused, because the six perfections, they're primarily their means towards one's own enlightenment. You can imagine that, being generous, being moralistic, etc. Those are qualities or perfections from our own side, working on our own mind. And when performing the six perfections, we're also benefiting others. It's more of a byproduct, but the six perfections are mostly inward focused. Whereas these four means of attraction, they're directed principally to benefit others. So it's the primary difference between the six and the four. So for me, it would seem that the four is going to be more of an advanced practice um, because I haven't perfected the six perfections. But it doesn't mean I can't try. So these four means of attraction, yeah, we'll go through them. So the first one is to uh, attract sentient beings to be trained, so that the teacher um, can teach them. And in this attracting the new sentient beings to be trained, a master should first give them material things such as food or whatever they need. So I guess it's kind of like the first point of engagement with a mind, kind of getting the hook, attracting them in. And so you give them things, you give them food, you show them that you're not going to hurt them, that you're a friend. So it's that first point of contact. And then the second point is the so if it's if I'm speaking from my own perspective, I would I would teach them the Dharma. If I was qualified, I would teach them the Dharma, speaking in a kind, a pleasant way, um, speaking in a soothing manner. So it's all about speech. It's all about the voice, the words. And then the third point, the third means of attraction, it's not just these speaking these pleasant words and it sounds nice, but when the disciples are relaxed, um, should actually introduce the actual practice of Dharma, the actual teachings of the Buddha. And then the fourth means is that I should be consistent with uh, my own teaching. So not only telling people what to do, but actually setting an example by practicing it myself. Because without such an example, um, the other people, they're not going to have any enthusiasm. So they have to see it in practice. And I think these four means they're very logical. It's something that we conventionally can get very quickly. I think in most cultures we see that practiced when when a visitor comes to visit a family, a group, they they give them food. They uh, they use nice and kind words. They share with them their wisdom, their knowledge, their experience, and then hopefully, in most cases, not all, but they're actually doing what they're saying. They're walking the walk, talking the talk. And they're not that difficult, but they take a little practice to shift the mind from thinking about me all day to just thinking about others, human or non-human. And these four means that they're the simplest and one of the best ways to benefit others. And mm, and it has to be said as Geshe Upton was explaining that the first two of these, they're not completely necessary because um, one might not have any material means or wealth to share. And um, and the second one with the voice, some people don't have a pleasant voice to share, so it could be a bit distorted. So it's these last two, this sharing the actual practice of the Dharma and doing what you're sharing. Those are the two most important. The first two are not mm, requirements, I guess you could say. So I think it's worth trying, going through an exercise to see if a few times during the week, if you do it every day, it'd be great. Mm. But seeing how to attract and engage with others. And this is not about being a missionary, but sharing the wisdom of the Dharma, connecting with people, being kind. So you could give someone a pen that needs a pen to write something down. You can tell them nice things. You can share with them one little piece of Dharma advice, how to be moral, the importance of it. And then you show them maybe uh, in a subtle way, you're just upholding that moral attitude. It's not about saying I am moral and telling them about it. I think the actions are much more powerful than the words. People see it. People feel it. They feel it in the voice even. So as you go through the week to come, try to bring your mind back to these four means of attraction, these four means of attraction to sentient beings, and see how you're doing with them. See how you're engaging with others, and it feels good. It reduces a layer of selfishness. So we can dedicate the merits and that we've created during the meditation and seal them with emptiness. Due to all the past, the present, and future merits collected by me, and all the merits of the 3 times collected by numberless Buddhas and numberless sentient beings, which are completely empty of existing from their own side. May I, who am completely empty of existing from my own side, achieve the state of full enlightenment, which is completely empty of existing from its own side, and lead all sentient beings who are completely empty of existing from their own side to that state which is completely empty of existing from its own side, by myself alone, who is completely empty of existing from my own side. Thank you, everyone.